Every few seconds, someone opens Pump.fun, uploads a picture, chooses a ticker, and creates a new cryptocurrency. Most of those coins are forgotten almost immediately. Nearly 7 out of 10 stop trading on the day they appear. Pump.fun still earns a fee, while buyers rush in and while sellers rush out. That simple idea has produced more than $1 billion in revenue. Pump.fun became one of the largest businesses built on Solana by helping people create coins that usually disappear. Now that business is supporting Pump, the platform's own token. Half of eligible platform revenue is currently used to buy Pump from the market and burn it. At a price close to half a cent, 1 million Pump costs around $5,000. The same position could be worth tens of thousands of dollars by 2030, but Pump.fun first has to survive the market that made it successful. So how much will 1 million Pump actually be worth in 2030? Pump.fun opened in January 2024. Its founders, Noah Tweedale, Alon Cohen, and Dylan Curler, had traded meme coins themselves. They saw the same problem again and again. A new coin would appear, buyers would rush in, and the person who created it could hide a trap in the code or remove the money behind the market. Traders were often left holding tokens they could no longer sell. The founders built a much simpler launch system. A user picked a name, a ticker, and a picture. Pump.fun created the token and opened trading almost immediately. Every launch used the same basic code, which removed some of the tricks developers had used to block selling or secretly create more tokens. It also made launching a coin feel almost as easy as posting a picture online. Standardized code solved only one part of the problem. After a coin went live, its creator could still buy early, promote it, sell into the excitement, and leave everyone else with the loss. That type of soft rug pull remained common. Pump.fun arrived at the perfect time. Solana transactions were fast and cheap. Meme coin traders were searching for the next Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, or Pepe. A joke from social media, a political moment, or a strange animal could become a tradable coin within minutes. People no longer needed to write code, find developers, or provide a large pool of money. They only needed an idea and a Solana wallet. The result was an endless stream of new tokens. A CoinGecko study followed 18.67 million Pump.fun tokens created between January 2024 and June 2026. Almost 69% recorded their final trade on the day they launched. More than 80% stopped trading by the end of their second day. Only 4.55% lasted longer than 3 months. Those numbers are terrible for anyone trying to choose a long-term winner from a page filled with new coins. For Pump.fun, every launch still creates another chance to collect trading fees. A coin can last for 3 years or 3 minutes. The platform earns while people are buying and selling it. During its first year, Pump.fun generated more than $350 million in revenue. By March 2026, the total had crossed $1 billion. In August 2026, the platform's own dashboard showed a yearly revenue pace close to $400 million, or a little over $1 million per day. Pump.fun used that money to expand. PumpSwap kept successful tokens trading inside its own system. Terminal added faster trading tools, and a mobile app made the platform easier to use. The founders now talk about a wider social platform where creators build communities, launch tokens, and earn from the trading around their content. That could give people a reason to stay when the largest meme coin waves slow down. The Pump token arrived in July 2025, after Pump.fun had already become a major business. The public sale offered 150 billion Pump at $0.004 per token. The full allocation sold in about 12 minutes and raised $600 million. A private sale added another $720 million. Pump began with a maximum supply of 1 trillion tokens. 33% went to the public and private sales. 20% was set aside for the team, while 13% went to existing investors. The rest covered the community, liquidity, live streaming, the foundation, and the wider ecosystem. A buyer who purchased 1 million Pump in the public sale paid $4,000. That position was worth about $8,800 when Pump reached its record price near $0.0088. It fell to roughly $1,150 at the token's low. At around half a cent today, 1 million Pump is worth close to $5,000. Pump.fun was earning huge amounts of money, while Pump holders owned no part of the company. They received no dividend and no legal right to its profits. The main connection between the business and the token comes from market purchases. For roughly 9 months, Pump.fun used almost all of its revenue to buy Pump. In April 2026, it burned the tokens collected through those purchases. The company then placed half of eligible net revenue into a program that automatically buys Pump and sends the tokens to a burn address. By August 22, 2026, Pump.fun had spent about $435 million on buybacks and removed roughly 161.5 billion pump. That equals more than 16% of the original supply. Recent daily purchases have often reached hundreds of thousands of dollars. When platform activity rises, the buyback becomes larger. Higher pump prices mean the same amount of money removes fewer tokens. Lower prices allow the program to burn more. This gives Pump a regular buyer funded by a working product. At the recent revenue pace, the program would spend close to $200 million a year buying Pump. Compared with a circulating market value near $2 billion, that is close to a 10% yearly buyback rate. If Pump grows to a $10 billion value while revenue stays flat, the same buyback would equal only about 2%. A lasting rise in price will need the business to grow with it. The current 50% revenue allocation was locked into the system for 1 year from late April 2026. Every token already burned is gone forever. The policy after that period will depend on what Pump.fun decides to do next. The company may continue using a large share of revenue for buybacks. It may keep more money for employees, new products, marketing, or acquisitions. A long-term Pump buyer is therefore betting on the business and on future decisions about how its revenue is used. The buyback story becomes more complicated when the unlock schedule enters the picture. Around 390 to 400 billion Pump are currently counted as circulating. The original maximum was 1 trillion, and the burn has lowered the number that still exists. Hundreds of billions of team, investor, and ecosystem tokens are moving through an unlock schedule that runs toward 2029. The first large insider unlock arrived in July 2026. More than 57 billion Pump were distributed across team and investor wallets after a 1-year lockup. A transfer into those wallets does not prove the tokens were sold, but it makes them available to move. From now through 2029, buybacks and unlocks will pull the supply in opposite directions. Revenue removes tokens. Vesting releases tokens to people who may hold or sell them. This matters when people talk about a future price of 1 cent, 5 cents, or $1. Using only today's circulating supply makes those targets look easier than they may be in 2030. A useful estimate has to allow for future unlocks and future burns together. The business also depends on people continuing to trade extremely risky coins. The platform can earn from rapid token turnover while new traders keep arriving and old traders keep trying again. A long quiet period in the meme coin market would reduce launches, trading volume, fees, and pump buybacks at the same time. Competitors can copy much of the basic product. Pump.fun's strongest protection comes from its name, its users, and the amount of trading already happening there. Rival platforms have taken market share for short periods by offering creators better rewards. Pump.fun has responded by changing fees, paying creators, and adding more trading tools. Regulation may shape the next stage as well. The United Kingdom's financial regulator issued a warning about the platform, and Pump.fun later blocked British users. Lawsuits in the United States accuse the company and its founders of helping sell unregistered securities. Those claims are still being fought in court. The company has also struggled with dangerous and offensive live streams used to promote coins. Building a larger social platform would bring higher costs and more pressure from regulators and app stores. These risks explain why Pump can trade at a relatively low value compared with the money the platform earns. Investors see a profitable business, but they also see a token with limited rights, a large future supply, and an uncertain market. The clearest way to build a 2030 prediction is to work backward from the total value Pump would need to reach. By 2030, the circulating supply may sit somewhere around 700 to 800 billion Pump after future unlocks and burns. The final number could be higher or lower, but this range gives us a better base than today's circulation. At 1 cent per token, Pump would carry a value of roughly $7 to $8 billion. 1 million Pump would be worth $10,000. At 2 cents, the total value would rise to around $14 to $16 billion, and the position would be worth $20,000. At 5 cents, Pump would need a value near $35 to $40 billion. 1 million tokens would be worth $50,000. 10 cents would push the token towards $70 to $80 billion and make the position worth $100,000. A price of $1 would place Pump near the largest crypto assets in the world, even after major burns. That target sits far outside a realistic base case. In a weak 2030, Pump.fun loses much of its lead, meme coin activity becomes smaller, and the company sends less revenue toward buybacks after the current program ends. More unlocked tokens enter the market while demand falls. Pump Pump could trade between $0.001 and $0.003. 1 million tokens would then be worth between $1,000 and $3,000. A more balanced future keeps Pump.fun near the top of the token launch market. The company continues producing several $100 million in yearly revenue, expands its trading products, and keeps a meaningful buyback program. A total token value between $8 and $16 billion would place Pump around 1 to 2 cents. 1 million Pump would be worth between $10,000 and $20,000. That is the range I consider most realistic. My middle estimate is $0.015 per Pump, which would make 1 million tokens worth $15,000 in 2030. The stronger case needs Pump.fun to become much more than a launchpad. Its mobile app, trading tools, and social features would need to attract people across several blockchains. Yearly revenue would need to move toward $1 billion, and a large part of that money would need to keep buying and burning Pump. If that happens, a price between 3 and 5 cents becomes possible. 1 million Pump would be worth between $30,000 and $50,000. Pump.fun would carry a value between roughly $20 and $40 billion, depending on how many tokens remain. For Pump to reach that range, several things have to go right at the same time. Pump.fun has to keep its users, survive legal pressure, manage its content, beat fast-moving competitors, and continue sharing part of its revenue with the token. Most coins created on Pump.fun disappear within hours. The company became rich because people kept returning to create the next one. Pump now asks investors to believe that the factory will last much longer than the products coming off its line. 1 million Pump costs close to $5,000 today. My realistic range places it between $8,000 and $25,000 in 2030, with $15,000 as the main estimate. A strong result could take the position toward $50,000. A weak result could bring it back below $3,000. The final price will depend on whether Pump.fun keeps turning internet attention into real revenue after the current meme coin wave is gone. Most of its tokens die in a day. By 2030, we will know whether Pump was the one built to survive.